What is up, guys? It is Mo Tanner from Absolute Arbitrary, and what you're watching right now is a little bit of Rush in the game Battlefield 3. I'm not even sure what the map name is called, but in my defense, the only maps that I really know is Operation Metro, Operation Firestorm, and the Grand Bazaar, and I'm not even sure if that's what it's called, because I know it sounds like that, but I don't think Grand Bazaar is the actual name of it, but it's a very infantry-based map, and that's kind of the maps that I prefer, because I don't really use the vehicles a lot in this game, if at all. Sometimes I'll fool around with the helicopters, but that's only when I'm like fooling around with my friends, because when you're in a helicopter, it pretty much takes away a teammate from the battle, because a lot of the times the people in the helicopters don't know what they're doing. Although I do seem that like a lot of people have been getting used to the helicopter, so it's a lot better now that a few people do know what they're doing, and you can usually run into about 1 or 2 guys a match that have a good idea of what they're doing in the helicopters. But other than that, if you're in a helicopter, you're pretty much just going to waste your lives, and you know, your team's not going to benefit at all. But, you know, I like to fool around a couple times. One of the things that I really kind of wish that Battlefield did was they don't have private servers. And somebody had mentioned that you could go on the computer and make one, but I'm pretty sure that they were not informed all the way, because I'm pretty sure that to have a private server, you must be playing on the PC version of the game, which is, you know, obvious because that's how they've always done it with the dedicated servers with Battlefield. So now that they have the company-supported servers, I imagine that the PC versions also have the private servers that people can buy off and rent off and whatnot. And I don't believe that that's how it works for the console at all. It wouldn't make any sense for that to work, but I really did wish that they had some kind of private server so that I could show you guys some tips and tricks in the game and setups and whatnot, because I have a lot of cool tricks and stuff like that using the helicopters and whatnot to get you to certain locations that you wouldn't otherwise get, because if you're on the ground, you'll go out of bounds, but if you're in the air in a helicopter, it doesn't register you out of bounds, so you can kind of loop around and sneak around the enemy and then let your guys out and be a mobile spawn point in the helicopter at that time, which is really awesome, and I'd love to show you guys. But the one time that we actually were successfully able to pull this thing off, I wasn't recording, or I wasn't thinking of recording, and so when I went back to do it, I wasn't the pilot originally. We had a friend of ours be the pilot because he's pretty good at it. So in this game, I can't pilot a helicopter to save my life because the controls are just so awkward, so I'll have to get used to that. You know, another reason to have a private server is to get used to the helicopters and whatnot. But he was really great at that, so we were able to do that. I tried to do it a couple times, and I ended up just getting a full stock of helicopter and then just crashing it, trying to get into the tunnel on one of the maps. And it was just, I apologize to anybody who was in the helicopter. I mean, I know you guys aren't watching this at all, but knowing that I apologize to you for a few dies, even though I really don't care, is really heartwarming. But even though I just said I don't care, it probably isn't heartwarming that much at all. And even though I went on like a massive tangent right there about the commentary, what this commentary will begin to be about is winter sports, which is what I had scheduled for this commentary, so it will now become that. For me, I personally do indoor track and field. I run middle distance, and I would consider myself distance overall, but because I run the 4x8, the 800, the mile, and the 4x4 in indoor track and field, I would consider myself a middle distance runner because I don't touch the 2 mile, which is the most distance you can run in a high school indoor track and field meet. So I consider myself middle distance because I also include the 4x4. Alright, this year I am looking to become captain of my team, or one of the captains for my track team, because there is a sprinting / jumping captain, which I do not fit for. There's also a throwing captain, which I have scrawny arms, and there is the distance captain, and they are 3 in all, and then there are 3 for the girls team as well. And so I'm looking to fill the distance captain, because the captain that was for cross country would generally flow over to indoor and then they once again for outdoor. But talking to my coach when I went to New England cross countries last weekend, he had mentioned that there was a negative impact from the captain of the cross country team, and he will no longer be captain of the team unless he makes dramatic changes, which I do not see happening anytime at all, because I feel like he's going to get worse from this point. And so I'm stepping up in taking that leadership role, and I had planned on doing that anyways, but last season I decided not to do cross country because the chemistry with the team was not there for me, and so I did not want to pursue that season and have drama, so I decided it was best to remain away from the team and run on my own. And by that, I mean, there wasn't really any like dramatic problems, so don't get the wrong idea or anything like that, but I was just not interested in running with the team for that season, so I felt it was best that I ran on my own and kept in shape and then came back into it so that I would not have a disinterest in the team in general, but so I took a small break and so I could come back into it so I could do indoor and outdoor of my senior year. And so I've already kind of talked to the coach, and I am the most likely candidate to become the captain of the team, which I would consider an honor because it's something that I've kind of always wanted since my freshman year. And you know, generally it's seniority is who generally takes captain, because personally for me, if I was like, say if I was a senior like I am now, and if there was like a junior or a sophomore named captain, no disrespect to them, it would be really difficult to find that I could follow their hierarchy, so to speak, because it's tough when you're the older, you know, the supposedly the bigger, stronger, tougher, more mature person. That's generally how it would go in, you know, your perfect world. And then to have somebody a younger than you have that slot, and in all honesty, if the person deserved it and they were better fit for the job than I was, then I probably wouldn't have as much of a problem with it, even though the fact that they were a younger grade than I was would kind of interfere some of the times, and I would kind of always have that off to the side. But overall, I don't think I'd hold it against them if they were better fit for the job. However, oh, little burp there, excuse me. There is one kid that I do believe will step up to be captain next year, but for right now, he's got a great work ethic and he's going to do great things for the team, but he does not have the leadership in the following that he should have as a captain. So, you know, he's being put off until next year to become captain. So I look forward to working really hard and being that kind of role model for the team, and not just for the distance kids, but also that if the entire team feels comfortable enough coming up to me for, you know, advice or running questions, because you know I've been running for, you know, a couple of years of my life now, and I do have a couple of tips and tricks that I can actually, you know, help people out with. And you know, I love being there, I love being supportive, and you know, cheering at meets is one of the things that I love doing. You know, I just being loud and obnoxious, it's like, you know, you're a teenager, you know, you got to be loud and obnoxious. It's something that I feel is really healthy for a lot of people, because there's no reason to be suppressed and quiet. You know, you're gonna have to do that later on in life anyway, so why not live it up right now? And that is really it for the conversation, guys. It kind of ended a lot sooner than I had planned for it, but what are you guys doing for winter sports? I want to hear what you guys do. Basketball, hockey, bowling team, I don't care. Tell me what you guys do. I'd love to hear it. But thanks for watching, guys, and have a nice night.